Hello again, dear listener. We're picking up where we left off last time at Agarthy and Shambhala. If you did not see the previous parts, feel free to watch them in the playlist on my channel. While you're there, you might as well like and subscribe. It's free. You can always like or remove your like or unsubscribe later. But yeah, if you want to see more content like this, please go ahead and feel free to do so. Without further ado, we resume with Agarthy and Shambhala. It was not only Atlantis, but also the subterranean worlds of Agarthy and Shambhala that interested the VRIL Society. The land of Shambhala dates back to the 17th century when it was first mentioned by a Jesuit missionary. He heard the story from Tibetan monks who claimed that the entrance to Shambhala lay in Mongolia. Apparently, Shambhala, like the world tree of Norse and Teutonic mythology, was a place with both a world on the surface of the earth and a subterranean kingdom underneath. The underground world of Shambhala was known as Agarthy, perhaps because of the powerful influences of Leighton's The Coming Race on a whole generation of occult thinkers. Hossefer, along with some Russian exiles of a mystical inclination, came to see Agarthy as the dwelling place of the secret chiefs. Hossefer claimed that he first heard of Agarthy and Shambhala in 1905 while he was in Central Asia. It was a vast underground realm beneath the Himalayas, inhabited by a race of superior beings. The kingdom itself was known as Agarthy, and Shambhala was its capital. Hossefer described Agarthy as a place of meditation, a hidden city of goodness, a temple of non-participation in the things of the world. By contrast, Shambhala was a city of violence and power, whose forces command the elements and the masses of humanity and hasten the arrival of the human race at the turning point of time. Hossefer claimed that his initiators had revealed to him that after the fall of Atlantis, many survivors had traveled through Europe and Asia before eventually settling in the large underground caves beneath the mountains in Tibet. He claimed that cave-dwelling adepts still flourished and continued to direct the course of world civilization from their underground sanctuaries. Hossefer did not believe that the underground world of Agarthy lay in Mongolia and insisted upon its Tibetan location. His influence upon Hitler led to a number of expeditions to Tibet by the Nazis from 1926 to 1942. The most important of these visits took place in 1938. Shambhala's full title was Chang Shambhala, a name that means northern quietness. It has a connotation similar to the word Hyperborean, which means at the back of the north wind. Shambhala plays a considerable part in Tibetan tradition, but it is overwhelmingly located outside Tibet in Mongolia or Siberia. Here, the role played by the bonds in preserving many traditional beliefs and practices from outside the country almost certainly accounts for the entry of a legend that originated elsewhere in the Tibetan mythos. It was through the bonds, combining Buddhist teachings with older traditions, that the Kalachakra school of Lamaism came into Tibet. The name of the system means the wheel of time, and it looks to the sky above with a sun around which the 7 planets circle. Kala, which means time, drives a chariot with 7 wheels and controls it through the use of the 7 rains. The Tibetans stress that the origin of this school of Lamaism lay outside the country, generally suggesting Mongolia. Shambhala was described by almost every writer as an earthly but hidden paradise. It has been called the holy place where the earthly world links with the highest states of consciousness. It extends upwards into the sky and downwards into a subterranean kingdom. This part of the Shambhala legend definitely originated in Mongolia, and the underground world was known as Agarthy or Agartha, a word meaning inaccessible. The ruler of Agarthy was often referred to as the king of the world and was said to be able to exert telepathic influence over the people on the surface of the earth. At some stage, the king of the world and the people of Agarthy would emerge and conquer the world. Shambhala and Agarthy would become the fountainhead of power. It was said that the prophecy that the king of Shambhala, who is sometimes called the chief of the secret Tibetan brotherhood of initiates of the golden sciences, shall govern mankind, implies the coming of a golden age and the enthronement of divine wisdom on earth. The Russian charlatan Badmaev. Another possible connection between Agarthy and Hassifar is the Russian charlatan Badmaev. His career has been described as follows. One of the most curious phenomenon of the Russian imperial court was the doctor of Tibetan medicine, Badmaev. Shamsarin Badmaev affirmed that he has acquired an exact knowledge of the secret doctrines of Tibetan magic and medical science in his father's house. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this Russian here because, I don't speak Russian either. I don't speak German, I don't speak Russian. You guys could really leave a comment saying pick a struggle if you feel like it. Transbaikalia, as the knowledge was an ancient tradition in the family. In the course of time, medicine and politics and lotus essences become more and more involved in each other, resulting in a fantastic political sorcery that has its origins in the Badmaev sanatorium and that decided the destiny of Russia. Badmaev appears to have been a Buryat Siberian, but he certainly visited Tibet and learned the language. He translated the Tibetan medicinal treatise Zhu Qi into Russian. Badmaev also developed a number of herbal remedies. In the 1960s, Badmaev converted to Christianity and was baptized in the Russian Orthodox Church. He explained his decision as follows. I was a Lamai Buddhist, deeply believing and convinced knew shamanism and shamans, beliefs of my ancestors. I have left Buddhism without despising and without humiliating their insights, but only because the doctrine of Christ the Savior has gotten into my feelings, and with such clearness that this doctrine of Christ the Savior has lit up all my being. Badmaev changed his name from Sotim to Peter, but continued to practice his Tibetan medicine. He also visited China, Mongolia, and Tibet, where he met with members of the Bons, Lamas, Kariguptas, and Redcaps. His medical treatments included powders and grasses. Badmaev certainly set out to create myths about his life, and he was alleged to not only have been around 113 years old when he died, but to have fathered a daughter at the age of 100. The crucial fact about Badmaev is the clear connection between Russian shamanism and magical traditions and practices from Mongolia and Tibet. He was certainly familiar with the stories of Agarthy and Shambhala, and it is inconceivable that a man as well known as him would not have attracted the interests of Hassifar. Mongolian initiates. Another source for the Nazi preoccupation with Agarthy was through Russian emigres. Emigres? I don't know that word. Emigres. Roman von Ungern Sternberg came originally from Estonia and claimed to be descended from the Teutonic Knights. Following the Russian Revolution, he joined up with Admiral Kolchak's and anti-Bolshevik armies and fought in Siberia. His troops held out against the Red Army until 1920, when he retreated into Mongolia. He converted to Buddhism and announced that he was a reincarnation of Genghis Khan and would lead the Mongols to a similar destiny of world conquest. After fighting 3 battles with the Mongolian dictator, he captured the capital and made himself ruler of the city. Ungern Sternberg promptly installed electricity and radio in the city and declared himself to be the god of war. He proclaimed that he was the precursor of the coming king of the world and was allied to the secret leaders of Agarthy. Ungern Sternberg promised to found a Greater Mongolia stretching as far north as Lake Baikal, as well as restoring the monarchy in Russia and China. He was a fanatical anti-Semite who claimed that all communists were Jews. As soon as he captured the Mongolian capital, he ordered a pogrom against what must have been a very small Jewish population. After 9 months as ruler of the country, he led a band of Mongol warriors into Siberia. Following several battles with communist forces, he was defeated, captured, and executed. And that concludes my reading of this section here. We will pick up again next episode with Men, Beasts, and Gods. Until then, you have a nice rest of your day. Hopefully, I can read better next time. None of these videos get edited at all. This is just me reading, so every stutter gets kept in. I like to keep it organic, as you can tell. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you feel like it. I'm nonchalant like that. And yeah, take care. Bye.